Welcome everybody to another episode of Planet Coaster Let's Build in our Vista View Park. My name is Shadow Phoenix. Welcome to this episode. What we are doing today is I have actually kind of jumped ahead a little bit here and started construction on a new coaster for the park because I kind of felt that it needed something more back in this area. So let me kind of start out with, because we're kind of jumping into the construction real quick here, and what had happened was my plan was to just kind of start construction of this coaster, just to kind of see it, get an idea of what a good layout would be. And then I was going to just kind of start from scratch and build it, the entire thing live. And ended up what happening though was I got about halfway done with it and I realized that I was really happy with what I had. And if I was to tear it down, I probably wouldn't be able to recreate what I had already. So that's where we're kind of coming into this at. I just decided that we just would start from, what we had and work from there. So let's talk a little bit about what we actually do have here so far. So how the whole thing came across was I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for a wooden coaster. I looked around at the land I had in the park and I decided, we was definitely going to do a wooden coaster over in this area, and I had an idea of a general location for it, so we started in that particular area. Then I had to figure out exactly what I was going to do. So I started looking at other roller coasters and, some of the best wooden coasters that are out there, trying to get an idea of, what kind of layout do we want. I didn't want to copy something exactly, but I did kind of want to get an idea in my head. Here's the thing about Planet Coaster. So in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which I'm a huge fan of, you only had so many ways you could build a coaster. You had, you could build it this way, you could build it that way. Your next part was determined by the last part that you actually put on there. For example, if you did a left turn, you had to continue with your left turn or go straight. You only had certain pieces to select from. Planet Coaster is completely different. So its greatest thing is also kind of its worst part, really, is that because it gives you so much freedom to create whatever it is that you can actually think of, it frees the mind. But then again, if you're not very creative, then you're like, I have no idea what I can do. I can literally do anything that I want to do, but I don't know what it is that I want to do. And that was the kind of the problem that I had with this. So what I started out was, like I said, I just started looking at other coasters and trying to get an idea. And I started looking at Thunderhead at Dollywood. And I was like, ooh, I really like this coaster's layout. I really like how it works and everything. And from that, I started kind of seeing if I could just kind of recreate something kind of similar to that and go from there. And then what kind of ended up happening was I ended up coming out of the station and kind of, I wanted a part where you would come out of the station, do some kind of like S-curves, make a left, and then come back up to the lift hill. So I wanted kind of a pre-lift hill section. And that's where this kind of, the first part of this coaster came in. And it's actually the part I'm having trouble with right now at the moment, is trying to get the cars to actually reach a certain speed on there. I really had to raise the station up and really had to lower the parts and the S-curve and stuff to get it to do what I wanted to do. And so what happens is it comes out of the station, goes downhill, and basically what I was thinking is it goes into this ravine down there. And from there, it will kind of do an S-curve, make a curve back up, and then kind of up on another layer, kind of up on a hill. That's when it kind of goes over a small kind of like bunny hop and then up the lift hill. And then the lift hill is going to take us down into a drop. And then from there, I went into a second hill for some airtime. And then another one of my favorite things on roller coasters, because my favorite coaster, if you guys know, is the Beast at Kings Island. I love the Beast. It's an amazing wooden coaster. People who haven't ridden the Beast don't know anything about the Beast. They don't know what it's like until you actually ride it. You can watch all the YouTube videos in the world, but if you don't actually ride it, you just don't understand. My favorite part of the Beast is the helixes. And, in other words, some people call them the rosebow. So I knew I wanted a kind of a double helix or a rosebow kind of thing like the Son of Beast had. So that was the next section that we did, was that. From there, it comes out of the rosebow, goes down, comes up again, and I wanted a station flyby because we wanted to make this something like a GCI coaster where, you have that station flyby. And that's what happens from there. And at that point, that is pretty much what I had built, and everything looked so great. I just couldn't for the life of me bring myself to tear it down and start over again, and I was really afraid that I wouldn't be able to actually get that back again. So we picked up construction from there, and as you guys have seen, I've already kind of started building the second half of the coaster and trying to get it back into the station, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I do want to mention, though, that I am doing a giveaway right now, guys. If you are not following me on any of my social media or here on YouTube or anything like that, you can definitely get into this giveaway. This is a great chance for you to do it. If you are following me, you can still join. All you have to do is just click the things. But down below the video here in the description, you're going to find a link to my giveaway, and all you got to do is just click on to join me, follow me, I should say, on Twitter, YouTube, and my Twitch channel. Doing all three of those will also net you a bonus few entries, I think like 3 entries, and retweeting the contest will also give you another bonus entry onto that. And it's for a $50 Amazon gift card. I know it's not a lot, but it's the most I could do at this time, and you guys, hopefully you will join that, support me. I would very much appreciate it. And if, like I said, if you're already following on me, all you gotta do is click it. It will recognize that you're already a follower. You get the entry anyway. So yeah, definitely check that out. Something else I want to talk about is my Patreon that I also just started. You will also find the link for that below as well in the description of the video. Now, for my Patreon, what I'm doing is I am going to, it's basically, hey, if you got ad block and you're running it, you can sign up for $1 a month. Support me that way. If you feel guilty about using ad block, you like my videos, you maybe want to help out a little bit. It's not necessary. You don't have to. I'm not begging or anything like that. I'm just saying it exists. So you can always join on that. I've got a few other little things too. If you join for $5 a month, you get some bonus extras, and $10 a month also get some bonus extras. We'll see how it goes. We'll go from there. We'll add some more if needed. But yeah, definitely check out my Patreon as well if you feel like just kind of helping out and making the channel better. All the money, all the proceeds, I should say, from the Patreon is going to go towards making my videos better, getting a better computer setup. I mean, I like the way I've got my computer set up now, but of course I can always use newer stuff. I would love to build a Ryzen system to see how Planet Coaster actually works on that. There's been some testing going on. I've been, kind of in discussions on the Planet Coaster forums over the Ryzen system and how much better it is. I really think that for my 5820K here that I'm running, I think the Ryzen would be a decent upgrade. 8 cores over 6, 8 actual cores I should say, not the way AMD actually does it, but much better. It's going to help make the videos faster, things like that. So that's where some of that goes. Also, I want to try to pick up a digital SLR camera, if at all possible. That way I can make some other videos other than just roller coasters and stuff, and make some live action videos, do some computer tech reviews. My thinking is that, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of tech guys out there, that are doing reviews of products. They talk about the newest chips, they talk about the newest graphic cards, all this stuff like that. Nobody really is doing it on a scale for streamers. For gamers who are also streamers, I should say. That's kind of something I would kind of, like a niche I would kind of like to get into, and do reviews of products that streamers would be able to use. Is this mic better than this mic for Twitch? What is the best software to use? XSplit over OBS, things like this. This is stuff I want to talk about, and I'd also like to do some showcase videos as well of like my computer setup. Now a lot of you guys would love to see my setup, and I personally love how I have everything. I'm not completely done yet. I've been working a little bit at a time on it. I've come a long way in the last year, so I would love to show this off, but for the life of me, I can't get any good video of it. Nothing I have works. I obviously can't record using my HD webcam, so I need something else to do it. My tablet, the camera on that sucks. My phone camera sucks. Nothing's really good, so I would love to get like a DSLR camera, and I got my mind on a D3300 from Nikon. That's the plan. So I'm going to try to get that. And any money from my Patreon also goes towards that. It also goes towards paying the the monthly bills as well, keeping the internet on, and just support like that. So hey, if you guys, again, you don't have to. I'm not begging anything like that. All I'm saying is it exists. If you guys like these videos, if you want to support me, that is a way that you could do that. So yeah, let's kind of get back into talking about the coaster here. I've got the layout pretty much done at this point, as you can see. I'm very, very, very happy with how this turned out. The only bugs I ran into was it was running out of speed towards the end. The whole coaster, as you can see, it turned into more of a terrain coaster than anything else. The second half of the coaster, I really wanted this kind of like part to stand up. When you look at the right side of the coaster, everything on it is just, it looks tall, it looks intimidating, it looks, like a beast, basically. And then I wanted something on the left side as well to kind of like match both sides, because you got the rose bowl on one side. So I thought we'll do this kind of like curved turn over on the other side. The only problem was it didn't have enough speed to make it, so I couldn't do the curved turn as tall as I really wanted to get it. So I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked, as you can see here in the video, and I just kept working on this to try to get this the way I wanted it. And finally I just gave up and was like, I'm just not going to be able to get that as tall. So let's just try to get it back into the station. And then I ran into trouble with trying to get it back even to the same level where the station was, because it just wasn't picking up speed. So again, I kept having to like tweak the coaster and tweak the lift hills and tweak the drops and stuff to try to get more speed out of it, to get it to come back to that. Eventually, finally, I threw on some drive tires or block brakes. That was eventually what I went with, and finally got it to work perfect. It took a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing, a lot of tweaking, but the coaster came out great. I absolutely, positively love how this thing it works beautiful. And it's my own creation. It started out wanting to be, kind of modeled after Thunderhead, but then just turned into its own thing, and nothing wrong with that. So now, as you can see, I'm just kind of doing the terrain and stuff around it, because like I said, it is a terrain coaster. We want to kind of show it off. I decided I wanted to do some tunnels and some other things like that, so that's kind of what we're doing. Like I said, I was doing a ravine at the beginning of the ride. I wanted to kind of have levels to it where, especially there at the end, and the caves and everything else. The station flyby actually comes out of one cave, flies by the station, goes back down into another cave where it comes out on the second half of the coaster. That part, I am not too sure if I will keep that or not. I may actually drop that part. I don't know yet. So we may uncover that. I'm actually going to leave that, guys, up to you. So I am going to take, like at the end of the video, I'm going to show some shots of it. And I'm going to give you something I don't really want to do, but I think you guys need to see it, is kind of a pre-coaster video without any of the actual scenery and stuff around it. No trees, no rocks, none of that. Just, the terrain is done. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think of it and getting your opinions before we actually finish it. So no station, no scenery, nothing, just kind of a sneak peek of the coaster itself. So I hope you guys are going to appreciate that. Let's see, I got a few more minutes here, so let's see what else we can talk about. We got a couple more weeks until the new Planet Coaster update. We've got tons of stuff coming in that. I'm hoping for more flat rides. What they showed, I mean, yeah, I like the fact that they're giving us more flat rides, but none of the flat rides they showed is anything that I would really most likely use, especially not the Zozo. Although the Zozo has beautiful animations on it. They did such a great job animating that. The way it is, it's not something that I would probably use in any park that I ever use. The Magic Elixir, that one I would probably use. It seems kind of generic enough that I could probably fit it into some things. But other than that, I'll tell you what I'm looking forward the most to, though, is the suspended coasters. As of right now, out of everything they've shown, I'm looking really forward to those suspended coasters. I'm actually taking a day off of work. I've took a vacation day on April 11th. I'm going to be streaming all day long. We're going to take the suspended coaster, and I'm doing a recreation of Big Bad Wolf from Busch Gardens. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. I'm going to leave you with some glamour shots, kind of some nice pans of the coaster, and a video showing like a pre-video of the actual ride itself, a pre-POV, shall we say. So you guys get a first-hand look at that before the actual finished product. So thanks for joining me during this episode of Planet Coaster Let's Build and joining me here in the Vista View Park. Make sure you click that subscribe button below if you haven't already. If you want to keep up to date, you can follow me on Twitter. If you want to watch my live stream builds or just playing different games because I'm a variety streamer, you can check out my Twitch channel as well. All the links for those are located in the video description as well. Also remember my Patreon and the $50 Amazon gift card giveaway as well if you guys are interested in that. If you have any questions about my PC stats, the equipment that I use, what kind of questions I got, you can check out all those stats. You find links to each of the parts as well for Amazon, also down in the description below. So that will do it for this episode. Depending on where you are in the world and what time it is when you're watching, good morning, good afternoon, or good night.